When winning is the only option, the sharpest bettors in the world call me. Not because of what I know, but who I know. And the results, well, they speak for themselves. But talk is cheap, so let me show you. The Syndicate Insider Show starts now.
Millions of dollars are wagered in
Turn it up. Let's see how it
the
sounds.
smallest effects. That's true of any financial risk, and especially here in Las Vegas. The next time you're in Sin City,
how the bass
take
sounds.
a minute to observe.
Back up. Sit down.
As soon as you arrive to this mecca for the high roller, you'll notice the lights, the glitz, and the glamour. It's all designed to entertain you, to entice your pleasure centers and numb you of your sense of risk. But if you simply slow down and take a moment to analyze how it all works, you'll notice why the losers lose and the winners win. Winners understand that information is power. They exploit areas where intelligence, insight, and strategy matter, while losers simply play an impulsive game of chance. Look around. The multi-billion-dollar hotels and casinos you see weren't built on the backs of winners. They were built on the backs of losers who tirelessly roll the dice instead of acting on key information. Let me introduce myself. My name is John D'Angelo.
This guy needs a beard.
And odds are, I'm the most famous person you've never heard of, because I'm the guy who provides bettors like you information you can use not only to win, but rake in a fortune. To many of the wealthiest bettors on earth, I'm simply known as my guy. That guy behind the guy. Make no mistake, my job isn't to predict the outcome. My job is to earn you an income. My job is to inform my clients of where the sharp money is moving and why. And we're talking global. From Las Vegas to Costa Rica, from London to Sydney. And my sources run deep. Because winning in this town isn't about what you know. It's about who you know. Remember, fortune's made on insider information. Lucky for you, I can give you just that. So if you'd like to benefit directly from my sources and get access to real insider information, let me tell you more about the Syndicate Insider. Call the number below. You'll receive an access code to learn more. Call now.
Mike, what'd you think of that little mini booth? It was great. What day is it? It's March what?
March 2nd.
It's the Ides of March, guys. Pretty much everything is said in that video. Everything is said in these videos. I've done video upon video upon video upon video upon video. One of my guys said, man, you haven't put up a video since your guy was running up and down the strip a couple weeks ago. You know, sometimes you just got to take a break. I don't want to be redundant. That's what I said at the end of the year. I don't want to be redundant. Look at you. We could let this thing run in the background and you'll see videos upon videos upon videos. One of the themes in all these videos that we discuss is looking for the Holy Grail. It's March Madness now, and everybody's looking for the Holy Grail. The bottom line is this. You're on the phone with guys, and we espouse being traders, being syndicate insiders. And the question is, what does that mean? What does that mean? It means not worrying about win-loss percentage. Yet, how many calls do you get a day of people saying, what's your win-loss percentage?
All the time. That's all they care about. They're short-minded. They only care about the streak and
They
reality.
want to know if you
nothing.
can go 7-3. So here's the point. This is not a tournament where you're trying to see how many winners you can pick. Wise guys don't make money. Sharps don't make money. Syndicates don't make money by worrying about how many winners. Again, how many videos do I have to do? How many whiteboards do I have to do?
You do look good, though.
I do look good. I mean, it's in high def, baby. 4K, 4K. How many 4K videos do I have to do and discuss the same things over and over again? The definition of insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Right.
So when somebody says to me, why haven't you done a video in a while? Because it's kind of like the insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. If you go to scoresandodds.com, if you go to donbest.com, if you go to sbr.com, if you go to all these places, you can find me. A lot of people ask me, they say, do you cold call? I don't cold call. I don't get on the phone. I don't talk to people. I don't beg them to take winners. And I don't mean individual games. I run the largest global syndicate in the world. I am the one who filters out plays from the sharps that are too busy doing this for a living that they don't want to deal with you. They didn't want to deal with you in 1997. And they certainly didn't want to deal with you in 2007. And they certainly don't want to deal with you in 2017. Because they're too busy, like you saw in the last video, running up and down the strip. Not playing on credit, not hoping their man is going to pay them on Tuesday so they don't have to, or on Thursday so they don't have to pay their man on Tuesday. But yet, just alone today, before I walked in, how many calls did you get, and how many people wanted to know what your win-loss percentage is?
I mean, it's everyone. I took about 50 calls, and everybody just wants the Holy Grail because right now the conference tournaments are starting midday, so the action is earlier in the day, and they just want to get that pick to get them out of the hole.
Back up a little so you can see your
They
outfit.
want to get.
What are we crossfitting now?
Well, I do strength training and conditioning. It's one of the first in the country. It's on a CrossFit scale, but it's for guys that just want to get their strength up. Because look, you got to be ready when you come in here every day to battle with these people that truly just want the Holy Grail. They want that one pick to get them out of the hole from earlier in the week. It's not going to happen.
You know, again, the definition of insanity is injuring yourself and then expecting somebody to get you healthy. Think of it like going to the doctor, getting a medication, and on the bottom of the bottle it says, don't drink with alcohol. And then you take the medication with a Bud Light or an Amstel or whatever it is. And you wake up and you feel worse than the day before. You didn't follow the directions. And this is what I deal with. I deal with an insane world where I've been doing this for 3 decades. As I stand on the chair, I sit on the chair. I've been doing this for 3 decades, preaching basically. I'm a preacher of profits. And what I mean by that is you profit if you listen to what I preach. But I get clients, and listen, all my clients, they all have the same concepts. They all claim they want to win. It's just a claim. What they really want is entertainment. And a lot of this stuff is redundant. If you go back in my videos, you've seen it before. But I go back to it because when I do talk to some clients and they do hear me, I wonder if they hear me. Because then they say, when a game loses, things like, what's going on, John? Why'd that game lose the other night, John?
Very emotional.
Very emotional, as if I was even watching the game or cared about the final score. And then they say, you don't even care? Of course I don't care. Am I going to change the outcome of the game? Of course I'm not going to change the outcome of the game. Am I going to sit here and babble about statistics and trends and analysis? Of course I'm not going to babble about statistics and trends and analysis. All these videos that you watch have one common factor. And it's not the X factor from my man Kenny White. The one factor is this. I don't talk about individual games or names of teams for the most part because they're no different than stocks on Wall Street. They're just opportunities that are available to take advantage of a number. Is it a soft number? Is it a hard number? Can you take advantage of the first half, the second half, the in-game trading, or the full game itself? They're trades. But yet, if I want to invest in a hedge fund, I got to lock my money up for 120 days at minimum, and I'm going to get a quarterly report from my hedge fund advisor, and I'm not going to look at each individual trade daily, and I'm not going to sweat, and I'm not going to be emotional, and I'm not going to care because I'm going to be properly funded. The real issue when you're watching this video in 2017 going into March Madness is this. 90% of you losers, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful nature, but 90% of you are losers because you're sitting there, you came home from work, or you're at work, and you're looking for free winners. As if you're at the window. As if playing a game today with your local credit bookmaker that wins would actually have any financial effect on your bottom line. It would not have an effect on your bottom line. It would have effect on your psychology. It would make you smile when the game wins because you have some monopoly figure in your account that goes up or down. If you're offshore, it still doesn't have an effect because you're not going to call up the offshore and withdraw the money. The only time it matters if an individual game wins is if it's cash at the window. If there's a ticket in your hand. If you could take that ticket out of your pocket and you can hand it to a teller. And if you can't hand that ticket to a teller, don't tell me about individual games. That's the bottom line. I'll be in Vegas at my round table in less than 2 weeks with my clientele, my private members of my inner circle club that will be at the window playing. Then it matters because then there's cash on the line, not credit, not phantom monopoly money. But I digress. You have the upcoming baseball season coming. I did a video last year with Kenny. It's the only millionaire making sport. But you guys are gearing up for March Madness. You guys are overlooking NBA. The other night we had that Charlotte game in the NBA.
Right.
What was that point spread on the game?
It closed at 5.5.
But, right, they won by 5.
Correct.
We played them on the money line.
Correct.
We laid 160. I normally don't lay 160 on a game. A client called me up and said, wow, you're laying 160 on Charlotte. Yeah, I'm laying 160 on Charlotte because the line that our line makers made was 5. And the line's 5.5 or 5. They should win the game by 5. The game should land on a push, or you should lose the game by a half a point. But it doesn't mean that they shouldn't win the game. They just shouldn't cover the spread. It should push, or they should win. The problem is most clients want a blowout. Most clients can't use their business mind to trade a game and say, if the game and the number is correct, lay the money line. That is an opportunity to play and lay, as they said in the Bruce Willis movie, lay the favorite. In that opportunity, you lay the favorite. If the line is what the line should be, and the line is 5, and the team should win by 5, why would you lay 5 expecting a game to push? Unless you're going to buy the game to 4 and buy the game to 6 and shoot for the middle and then lay the money line, which in retrospect we should have done. But the reality is this. There's always a number on the game. And when you're looking for a 30-point blowout, that's not the way to play. The way to play is to look for the small mismatches where you can take advantage of a number. And when you come to the realization that these syndicates, Dominic Larigio, Kenny White, Brian Blessing, I can name them and name them and name them, that all filter their biggest at-the-window plays directly to the insiders, me. And I filter that information via Mike back to you. When you come to the realization that they're all playing and trading games based on one thing, the number, and it could be the difference between knowing a game is 5 and it should be 5 and we're going to leave it at 5 and lay the money line, that's all that matters. When you're hyper obsessed over whether I live in Charlotte and I'm a fan and I'm going to play Charlotte and it doesn't matter what the line is, you are dead before it even started because you're playing with emotion, with an absence of logic, and therefore you can't win. So if you claim you want to come in from the outside and you want to come into the inside and you want to really make it a profitable March Madness, don't make yourself mad. Truthfully, the only way you're going to be glad and not mad at the end of March Madness is to tone down your emotions, treat it as a business, and be bored. If you're going to play every game on the board, you cannot be successful. Now, admittedly, I'm not on the front line. Admittedly, I'm not the one over here on this phone all day. Mike is. I'm out and about, and I'm meeting and greeting and dealing with my syndicate sources that deserve and need the personalized attention that I offer them, you are the one on the front line. So say something to these guys. I'll wrap up the video as we close out this March 2nd, 2017's video report.
Well, the bottom line is, look, you talked about insanity. I changed everything when I wanted to look this good. If you saw me in the videos a year ago, I was bloated. I wasn't working out. I didn't change everything.
He did shave the beard, though.
I did. There's a reason why I put in the work, the diet, everything. So change your March Madness. Change it going into the new year, into baseball season, because today doesn't have to be what it was weeks before, months before. We will show you the money management, but don't call here looking for a hot pick. There's going to be an end to this insanity, and it's not going to be the March insanity with 50 games every day. So enjoy your Thursday. Call if you want to change your new perspective and a new way of life, and good day and good luck.